Yo dog, K Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up with another painting tutorial. That means it's Monday, the best day of the week, the best of all days. We got something cool. We got part 2 of the Riders of the Thunderwolf Cavalry, which is part 4 in the series. Been a very exciting video series. I've been blasting through them, having a lot of fun doing the video editing. It's been a lot of work, but it's also been a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Quick shout out to the veterans. The Hall of Veterans, our membership-based portal, aka thelongwar.net. The support's been huge. It's been helping us upgrade our game. I hope you guys notice what we've been trying to do, and we've been using the monies appropriately to upgrade the entire quality of this whole Bringing Hobby Back campaign. So, just want to say thank you for all that. I want to urge you to check out thelongwar.net when you have an opportunity. In the meantime, let's just jump right into this thing. Let's do this thing. Part 4, Thunderwolf Cavalry. We're on the Riders, which are obviously the most detailed. And we're going to start off with old Vallejo Earth. Very simply named, but very effective. Essentially, we're coming in, we're painting all the things that I want to be bone white. We're hitting them first with this brown earth shade, because we're going to essentially blend it up to the white. Very quickly blend, so don't get too scared by that terminology. And we're also going to be able to use a wash to like knock it out of the park. You know how these Space Wolves basically are known for their fashion accessories, and they are envied by all other artists. So we're coming in, finding everything that you want that bone white, and paint it with this brown first. Every little possible thing. The lanyards, the teeth, the skulls. And you guessed it. You good old Vallejo white. And we're going to come in and we're going to quickly drop some hyper highlights essentially off on these browns. Don't worry about making it too subtle, because the wash will kind of do the rest in this situation. Just moving along to the lanyards now, because, you know, it's skulls, lanyards, necklaces, talismans, like all the fashion accessories, all the jewelry. Go through it. I'm going to show you here the lanyard that I might have not showed you earlier. There's a lot of these, and you want to be careful when you paint these, you know. You want to come in very, very cleanly, because you don't want to be all clumsy and get this brown and this white combo on that nice blue armor that we built. This is essentially the headache of Space Wolves. So you can see we've gone through, we've done all the teeth, all the skulls, all the bone white things. Here they are. This obviously represents several hours of work. Coming in, we're going to paint some of these gems, and we're going to use reds, because red is a good color to go with these, especially if you use a little orange to kick it off. It's going to be a natural complement to this bluish gray. Gray already being a neutral color, and everything matches gray. The fact that it has a little blue in it also means it is the complement to a red with a little bit of orange in it. So, you know, lay down the base work of that red with the Privateer Press colors, and then highlight a little bit with a little Troll Slayer. It's not a science, and besides, I'm not a scientist, I'm an artist. So just come in there and go with your heart on it. You can see it comes out pretty fresh. There's like a pop to it. The red is very striking. So here they are. We came through everything that we wanted to be red is red now, with a little bit of this orange highlight. So I'll just try to accelerate this, because I'm trying not to slower you guys on these multi-part series. Jumping right into the blue, that pale blue color that we used to highlight with the airbrush from the last video. We're going to come in and use this now to edge highlight some of the areas of the armor. Obviously, edge highlighting every little line, that shit is dead to me. We're not going to do that. We're going to find all the very effective ways to highlight it. 90 degree in the cut here, on the back here, you know, like all these little spots that give you the most amount of emphasis, because that's kind of like why we airbrushed it the way we did, washed it the way we did, and airbrushed it again. We're trying to eliminate the need for so many edge highlights. But we are going to do a few of the edges, just to give that final pop. You know, that final absolute look that totally sets it all off. Now that we've finished all those quick highlights, come in and we're going to start washing some of these things. And this is when the model starts looking a lot more realistic. We're using non-oil on the golds. Come in and very carefully wash it. We're also going to use known oil on the silvers too. I mean, I don't know why I said that, but known oil is usually just the maximum contrast in antiquing here. Come through and just very carefully use the right size brush. Don't move your hand fast because you will flick that wash all over the place and you will be infuriated and you will hate everything and you will just throw this model in the trash. And just carefully allow it to settle into the recesses. Make sure it doesn't pull up. Just like I said, be methodical here. This is like the linchpin of this technique. And I'm going to go through. I'm going to do the wash on a few of them because I don't want you guys to just see me do it one time. I'm going to do a couple different types of models. So you can see, here's a close-up, obviously. Coming in and just slapping it all over the red even. You know what I mean? Like, because it'll help. It's just, this, like I said, it's an organic process. I'm not a scientist, but I do know what I like to do and how I make the effects the way I want them. Here's a Power Fist guy. We're going to do the same thing with his Power Fist and his belts. Same process. You know, even when you come on those some areas that are like right over the blue, you're going to want to like let some of the wash get in between the border of the gray blue and the golds and the silvers. Helps create like another line like of contrast. If you just make sure it doesn't go too hard in the paint, it'll create a nice very subtle transition. So this is kind of like you got to just jump in on the deep end of this process. Don't be afraid of it, but also don't worry about messing it up a few times because this is a very interesting technique that I've worked into my process over the last 5 years even. Let's jump into some of the other areas. Obviously, some of the areas in the backpack are very hard to get to. That's why we leave the heads off a lot of the times. I just want you to see this. Like, I mean, I know I'm dragging out in the wash process, but I just want you to see more than once and more than one type of model how I do this. Let's jump into the earth shade. We're going to use earth shade on all the bones. Not every one of them, but some of them. Like this big skull on the chain sword. Some of the other skulls on their chests. I'm going to come back real quick to these Iron Priests so you can see a totally different model. And I'm going to do kind of all the wash it at once here because that's kind of my trick as I actually keep the known oil and the earth shade out at the same time. And I kind of dip between the two without even worrying about cleaning my brush because it's just fine. Like it's just a technique that I employ. So I'm running through doing all the known oil right here, carefully getting it on all this extra equipment, all the servos, the robot hand, the trim on the shoulder pad. You'll see here when I do the shoulder pad what I'm talking about, how I'm going to let some of that wash end up on purpose on the board. Like I cannot emphasize enough, take your time with this process. You don't want to go crazy, you will get super mad. Coming through, doing the weapons, getting inside the deep recesses. Like, I mean, just remember that what you're trying to do here is you're trying to highlight a model up, then wash it to get the darkness in all the recesses, then highlight it all up again on all the raised surfaces. And that's even what dry brushing is for. Dry brushing and wash technique go hand in hand together, man. It's just like totally lets you get all the contrast. So just think about that when you're laying the wash on. And all the big flat surfaces, you kind of want to wick away the pooling because it's not for the flat surfaces. It's really for the recesses and all those details. So now I just dipped right into the earth shade color, the brown, and I'm immediately transitioning into painting the grip of his weapon there because I don't want that to be black. I want it to be brown. Same thing here on the lords. I'm going to do the same thing. Going straight into the known oil. Going to paint on everything that needs to be black, and then immediately snag up some of that brown. And I don't care if some of the black's still attached to it. In my experience, that works out just fine. These lords are obnoxious. You got to go through and paint a lot of little things and then wash a lot of little things and then highlight a lot of little things. But that's the hobby, man. The fashion accessories, they know no bounds in the Space Wolf chapter. The Legion. And you can see here, I'm trying to show you guys everything here. Just get everyone, like the wash is just such a big part of this, man. Like I can't tell you how important it is to get your wash game on lock. So now we're going to jump into the dry brushing using some of the Vallejo metals. And I'm going to dry brush these big thunder hammers, because they are just, it'd be a crime to leave them just washed. Like I said, this hits the raised edge. So we painted it solid metal, washed it black. and then dry brush it with a brighter metal over the raised ridges. That's how you get that technique. But we're not done, man. We got to keep highlighting some of these metals. So molten bronze and some of that steel, I think, from the Air series. And we're going to mix them together. We're going to create a highlight. And we're going to come through and we're going to highlight some of these golds because you want that last little pop. And this is actually really fast. You're not sitting there being like super precise. I'm just talking like pull it in from the edges, find those spots. You're not tracing everything you did. Like I said, that's dead to us. That's not what we do. That's ridiculous. Just find the areas that need to be emphasized. Go in there and blend them. And like these bright silvers really augment these golds when mixed with the gold. So here they are, all that washing, all that highlighting back on the golds. And you got a really good baseline. And you can see these are the finished products. I'm showing you guys what they're going to look like afterwards. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching that video. Got more to come. We have to obviously do all the details and all the riders still. We got all the shoulder pads. We got a couple more videos at least before we're done painting 23 Thunderwolf Cavalry. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, play on, players.